Hello everybody and welcome back to the Victoria Marie YouTube channel. I'm Victoria. So glad that you are here today for Wednesday Live. I am going to be playing, whoops, let me turn that down, playing with items from my stash today to make a multi-photo 12 by 12 inch scrapbook layout. So let me know that you're here by posting in the chat section, I can't talk today. Or if you're watching this on the replay, post a little hello down in the comment. Let me know that you enjoyed the replay of today's live stream. I'm so glad that you guys are here. Thanks for the thumbs up. By the way, if you haven't subscribed already, you know I'm going to say, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell. That way you'll be notified each and every time I go live or post new content here to the channel. And you're going to want to subscribe because I've got a lot of fun things that are coming down the pike this summer, content that I have been working on and have been really excited to release. So I hope you will join me. I've got some announcements to make before we get started, but I'm going to wait till we have more people who have popped on. Thanks so much for the thumbs up. If you are enjoying the live stream throughout any of the duration of the live stream, make sure you give it a thumbs up. That way YouTube knows that you like this content and more likely to recommend this content to you in the future. A lot of people don't know that. Sometimes people watch videos or they do live streams and they don't give it a thumbs up. You're actually just telling that YouTube algorithm that, I don't know, don't show me this stuff in the future because that's the only way it knows if you like it, right? So give it a thumbs up if you do. Hello everybody for joining me today. We're going to hang out for just a second and see if we have some more folks popping on today. Hey, Melly, Melissa, Susan, Carrie, how are you today? So glad you're here. Merritt is here and Barb S is here. I'm going to take this opportunity to adjust my, I have a camera mount that for whatever reason just never wants to act right, and I don't know why. It is time for a new one. So excuse me just a second while I make this adjustment. It just keeps falling and falling and falling. So I don't know what's going on with this thing at all. So I'm just trying to make a few little adjustments. That's just, kind of how it is. Okay, hopefully that'll work. Hopefully that'll work. Hey, Alicia, Elizabeth, hello, how are you? Did you do your hair differently? I just kind of let the curls hang out today. I wash it and I put some product in it versus wearing it back or wearing it up. It's just, I have really, really tight curl patterns. So whenever I wash my hair and I put some product in it, it just curls up and it just shrinks. So it makes it look like my hair is shorter than what it is. But if I were to blow out my hair, it'd probably be about right here if I were to straighten it. So that is the joy of having super curly hair. It shrinks to about 75% of its natural length. Thanks, Alicia. I appreciate it. So yeah, I actually made the effort to put product in it and make the curls stand out today. Sometimes I don't always do that. Hey, Elma, how are you? All right. So glad to see you guys. We got some new folks. Let me know if this is the first time that you have participated in the live stream. So glad that you guys are here. Also, let me know, do you like using product from your stash? Do you reach into your stash when you're making a project? I know that sometimes it's very tempting to go to the new product because it's new, it's fresh, and it's fun. But sometimes our little goodies are kind of hanging out in our stash and they're like, I'm here, come play with me. So that's what we're going to do today. Hey, Sylvia from Oklahoma. Sylvia, I have family from Oklahoma, from Lawton and from Guthrie and Stillwater and Edmond. So yeah, there's a whole lot of my folks there in Oklahoma. Hello. Hey, Daisy, what's going on? Hey, Suki, what's going on? So glad you're here. Hey, girl. Hey, Daisy girl. All right, now that I have you, I want to get through just a few little housekeeping things, if you will, just some announcements, some stuff for you to put on your calendar to get into your psyche today as we are getting started. I don't know if you know, but I have a workshop that's coming up. Let me tell you, I have been wanting to do Zoom workshops over a variety of different topics for a very long time. And one of the questions that I get beyond any other question regarding scrapbooking are questions about layering, layered clusters, layered backgrounds. How do I layer? What's enough white space? What's too many items on a page? What's too little items on a page? How do I design a page that looks really good without being overwhelming, utilizing layering designs? And I will tell you that when I first started scrapbooking, I was super linear. Like the photos had to be straight. I didn't have a whole bunch of layering or dimension. And then I start looking at magazines, and then I was introduced to YouTube, and I saw people just adding all this layering and dimension on their layouts, and I'm like, I want a scrapbook like that. So I spent a few years honing my layering skills, and now it's something that I'm kind of known for is layering on a scrapbook layout. So I figured out a way to make it easy because it was something that I was challenged with. I'm like, how do they make their layouts look like that? And so after lots and lots of practice and trial and error, I developed a system that made it super, super easy to create layers on a scrapbook page. But there's so many subtopics just within that particular technique. So I developed a workshop series, and I'm testing this out to see if this is something that I want to do going forward. So I have a workshop coming up on May 27th. Okay. And I want you guys to check this out, because if you are somebody, whether you struggle with layering or you just want to kind of hone in your skills just a little bit, this is a workshop for you. So let me show you. The link is posted down in the description so you can check out the workshop details. But let me tell you about this workshop. Come back. Here we go. So this workshop is called Let's Create Layered Embellishment Clusters. It's a live mini workshop. It's posted live on Zoom, and it's a 90-minute workshop. Okay. And you're going to learn my process, which I call anchor, stack, and details. It's my technique that I kind of developed. It sounds like it's really formal, but I'm a systems driven person. So I like to have processes and things in place. So this is you learning how to use my anchor, stack, and details technique for creating embellishment clusters on a scrapbook layout. So if you go to the link in the description, you'll come to this page where I tell you a little bit about this workshop, real simple and easy. It's going to be May 27th. That's on a Saturday from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. And the cool thing about it is you may be saying, but Victoria, I'm not available on the 27th. You don't have to worry about it, boo. If you register, you get access to the recorded replay indefinitely. So you can watch it at any time. You'll receive the recorded replay once the mini session is done. The last day to register for this workshop is May 26th. So if you have any inkling that you want to be interested, or you're interested in wanting to delve more into layering, this is the first workshop of a 4-workshop series that I'm offering on layering. A lot of you know that I have an online class called Layering Like a Boss. Well, the original one retired. I'm redeveloping that class. But what I'm doing is I'm taking techniques from that class and just in general based on questions that I'm asked a lot and based on things that you guys need help with. So you're going to learn the technique. You're going to use what you learn. Okay. So this is a workshop that you learn some techniques and then you use it, right? It's not, oh, I'm going to take this later. No, it's taking the technique and actually applying it. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about the technique in today's project. And of course, it's hosted live on Zoom. Very simple and easy. Once you register for the class, I do have a online class on my online classes website that houses all the details. It's only $10. That's the cool thing about it. It's only $10. Okay. We can go to Starbucks and buy a coffee or 2 coffees for $10. Spend $10, come hang out with me, 90 minutes, learn my technique, immediately apply the technique so you can start practicing your layering skills or improve upon your layering skills. Okay. So you see this picture here, you see all that layering. I'm going to teach you how to do that. So the link is posted down in the description. It's only $10. And I'll also be releasing some information about the upcoming workshops that will be coming this summer, which is fantastic. So I know for a lot of you, you like to go on vacation, you're doing the thing. It's okay. You can go ahead and register for these workshops and check out the recorded video if you've got other things that you're doing over the summer, but you can just add this to your Scrappy toolbox, your Scrappy education, if you will. That sounded really formal. Your Scrappy education by checking out these workshops. And again, they are recorded. So if you can't join live, it's no problem. So $10 USD open to anybody who wants to participate. Come and join me May 27th. The link is posted down below. So make sure you come and check this out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about this workshop. This is something that typically when I teach, I do a lot of pre-recorded content that's on my classroom site, or I've taught live for, my friends with Scrapbooking Cards Today and some other entities. I do monthly things with my Patreon community. My gold and platinum patrons get access to monthly workshops. And those are real nice, real intimate, small group type situations, and people can ask questions and stuff, and that's great. But I wanted to just be like, what's your question? What problem can I help you solve? And can I help you do that within 90 minutes? Okay. So check out that workshop and then look for more information to come. So excited to do these workshops. And it's something that I hope to implement on an ongoing basis. Because look, our time is limited, and sometimes you just want to know how to do the thing, okay? And I'm going to teach you how to do the thing. Those of you who've taken classes with me or workshops with me, you know that I'm big on scrapbook education, which is, why Victoria Marie Designs exist. So come and hang out with me. Let me help you with your scrappy dilemmas, okay? So that layering workshop, mini workshop, that information you can see down in the description box. So click on that link. Now, if you're looking to have a little bit of fun, if you're not doing anything this weekend, come and join me this weekend. We have the May Victoria Marie Designs online virtual crop that's popping off. The theme, for those of you who don't know, I've been hosting these scrapbooking crops since 2020. And this is going to be the last year that I host these crops on a semi-monthly basis. So I host 10 of them per year. So this is going to be the last year that I host these on a simply monthly basis. Next year, I'm thinking about moving to a quarterly crop, but more on that when we get there. But for right now, we have this crop and then 5 more left to go for the rest of the year. So our May crop is called Stitch It Up. So all of the challenges for this crop will be based on stitching or sewing on your layouts in any way. In fact, I'm going to add a little bit of stitching to the project that I'm working on today, which is going to be really fun. So it doesn't matter if you don't stitch, you stitch all the time, you don't have a sewing machine, any way that you can get a look of stitching or sewing on your layout, whether it's stamps, machine stitching, hand stitching, faux stitching that you draw with your hand, all of it counts, and that's what all the challenges are based on for this crop. It's $12.99. You get access to the crop challenges, prizes, giveaways, live Zoom scrap and chats all weekend long, and a 45-minute workshop where I'm going to be talking about simple techniques for scrapbookers when it comes to stitching on your layout. So if you're interested in that, if you're not doing anything this weekend, come and join us. It's May 19th through the 21st. Tomorrow is the last day to sign up. There is a link in the description provided for you if you want to sign up and come play. Here's the cool thing about my crops. You have 3 weeks to do the challenges. So you can sign up, and maybe you've got something going on this weekend. You got a graduation, you got something going on, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to sign up and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to play at a later date. That's absolutely fine. So all the content will be available to you for 3 weeks. So there's no rush for you to come and play. But a lot of folks come and participate for one reason, and that is people like the challenges, but also our live Zoom scrap and chat sessions are super popular because it's a way for people to connect. And even though it's on Zoom, we have a lot of folks who aren't able to go to crops and retreats, or maybe it's just cost preventative, or maybe we've got some folks that just don't get out as much. And what I have learned after hosting these crops for 3 years is that those Zoom scrap and chat sessions are so vital in connecting and engaging. And I learned that from my participants. So I'm so excited for this weekend. So if you're interested, it's all online, hosted on a private Facebook group. Everything that you need is all spelled out in the registration details. So make sure you click on the link down in the description and come and check it out. And let's have some fun and relax and scrapbook and play around with stitching on our layouts. I just bought a new sewing machine, so I'm really excited to try that out this weekend. So yes, hello everybody. Just want to go to the chat real quick. Yeah, absolutely. We've got, hey, Christy, she's got the Illustrated Faith Artist Retreat this weekend. That sounds fun. We'll be crafting by proxy together. There you go. I know there's all kinds of stuff going on. Denise said, excited for the workshop. Already signed up. Great, Denise. I'm so excited. She'll have to watch the recording as my 33rd wedding anniversary is this weekend. Well, happy anniversary, Denise. That is fantastic. Love it. Kimberly says, I will definitely sign up. We'll be at the crop that day, but we'll catch the replay. Fantastic. Or she'll be at a crop that day. You know, we have people who will be doing another event, like a lot of folks who will be at an in-person crop, but then they've got my crop or another event like in the background. We have a lot of people who do that. A lot of people. Watching and working, says Jane. I know. This is our staff meeting. If you guys didn't know, this is our staff meeting. All right, one last thing before I jump into the day's project. If you didn't know, I have a weekly email that I send out. And the weekly email is a great way to keep up what's going on with Victoria Marie Designs. I get a lot of questions like, when's your next crop? And when's this coming out? And when we're doing this? If you sign up for the newsletter, then you're always in the know. And now when you sign up for the newsletter, let me show you this little handy dandy tool. I have been, guys, in the background working on a lot of tools for y'all, because if you're like me, you like planning your scrapbook projects and all that, you want some tools, I got some things coming your way. But this one is free and I love free stuff. So if you sign up for my e-newsletter, there's a link down below. You'll get access to the scrapbook layout project worksheet. I love a good worksheet. I love when I can plan out my projects. It's fabulous. So this is the instructions. When you sign up for the email newsletter, you get immediate access to this. This is what the worksheet looks like. And so it has a space for you to put your project name, the format of your project, also write a little story summary of what you want to document. You can make a list of the photos that you want for that particular project, your supplies, any creative inspiration you want to make note of, any design ideas you want to try, and then a spot for you to sketch out your project. And check this out. This is a project tracker. Now, this is something that I did with my Project Done students when we were working on our projects this past spring, which, by the way, stay tuned because I have a Project Done summer cohort that I'm going to announce soon. So those of you who weren't able to join us in the spring, you'll have an opportunity this summer. So anyway, we have our progress tracker here, which you can just color in the bar to give you a visual representation of where you're at on your project. And guess what? You can get this for free just for signing up for my e-newsletter. So make sure that you log in, or that you click on the link below for my newsletter. I also provide an example of how you can work with this worksheet. This is a kind of a little tester that I'm doing for something bigger that I'm developing. I love a good tool. I love to be able to plan my projects, and I love to have a space where I can do that. There's lots of different planners and things like that, but we need something specifically for us as paper crafters. So got a lot of things going on, but you can get this for free today if you sign up for my email newsletter. All right, that's all I got for that. So you got your announcements. We've taken care of our housekeeping stuff. Now it's time to craft. Let me show you what I pulled out. So this is all about stash today, folks. I'm not using anything new. I'm going to show you how I created this little page kit. I'm going to be using some Vicki Boutin stuff, some Amy Tan stuff, and I'm going to tell you how this all comes together. One of the questions that I get a lot is, how do you coordinate products when you're using your stash that are from different manufacturers and different designers? Let me zoom up let me zoom out rather, I should say, from different manufacturers, so that you can create a cohesive look, get more bang for your buck out of your stash, and create a really good project, right? So let's start at the beginning. For this one, I reached in my stash and I grabbed some Vicki Boutin pattern papers, which I love me some Vicki Boutin. This is from her Color Story collection that came out, I guess this came out sometime last year, I believe. And you know Vicki Boutin, if you guys are familiar, which I'm pretty sure everybody knows Vicki, Vicki has the most beautiful designs. They're super bold and big, lots of great colors. I absolutely love it. And of course, like with a lot of paper collections, there's opportunities for fussy cutting. You've got tags and whatnot. I love this Color Story so much. And so I started here. And usually when I reach in my stash, I look for a starting point. So that can be pattern paper, it can be embellishments, it can really even be my photos. And then my photos kind of drive me to find something that I want to use. And so I knew that I wanted to use Vicki Boutin's Color Story collection, and I think there's another collection in here too, maybe not. I knew that I want to start with this as a basis because the photos I'm scrapbooking today are from Mother's Day. And in these particular photos, they've been edited and they're resized to 3x4 because I want to get a lot on one single page. We kind of have a reddish tint to it because the lighting was bad in the restaurant that we were at. So these are pictures of my family, my mom and my brother, Corinne and my mother. Here's my mom having a little Mother's Day sippy sip. Look at that big old drink. She's, I don't know what that was. Some kind of Cajun hurricane. I don't know what it was. Me and my mom and my brother taking a picture. So I did not get I'm looking at this. I'm realizing, wait, Bree is in none of these pictures. My spouse is in none of these pictures. I feel so bad. Maybe I'll have to print like an extra picture and kind of pop her in there because she's not in any of these pictures. Anyway, so this was kind of my color inspiration because just the tint of the photos, even after I edit the photos a little bit, I was picking up a lot of reds in the background. Also in the background of the photos, this particular restaurant, we went to Razu's Cajun restaurant. They're a chain Cajun restaurant. But there's lots of color and things here in the background with the decoration and that type of thing. So I immediately thought, well, what do I have in my stash that features a lot of color? Either Vicky Bouton or Amy Tangerine. So I picked some Vicky Boo stuff, which I love. And this page is going to be the basis for the layout. Okay, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to lay this out here in just a second. So then I thought, okay, well, if I picked out these papers, what do I have in my stash that works with these papers? And also, I didn't want to pick a ton of stuff because you know what happens is we make, hey Nancy, we make a lot of product decisions and maybe we pull too much out and then it becomes super overwhelming. So I said, let's just grab, you know, a couple of pieces of paper, 4 pieces of paper, one for a background, one for an accent, something that I could do some fussy cutting with, just some options, and I'm going to just stop there. Now, because this is from my stash, what I do is I store my extra pattern papers in one of these little big old plastic bags, and I pull it out whenever it is that I want to use something. So this was separated. This all has Vicky Bouton stuff in it. And then I have others that are based on designer or manufacturer. And if I want to work with a particular pattern paper, whatnot, I'll just reach in there accordingly. So all my Vicky Bouton papers right here. This is actually a third of what I had. I used to have a whole bunch of this when I was on the American Crafts design team. A whole bunch, but I pared this down. And so I just went through here real quickly and picked out some pattern paper, making quick decisions. Then I said, okay, well, what colors do I have going on here? What do I have in my stash that works well? So I then reached, of course, I've got some color study embellishments, okay, and some storyteller embellishments. And a lot of Vicky Bouton's collections, well, a lot of the collections with American Crafts, the color stories tend to be similar from collection to collection. So you can work with all the collections together. So I got me some die cuts here. And then I'm like, you know what? Who else has some colorful embellishments? And then I came across Amy Tangerine's Brave and Bold. This came out a couple of years ago. And I thought this would be perfect. There might be some icons here that I can use. So I grab a sticker book and some die cuts. I don't know if I'll use anything out of here, but the color story works very well with the Vicky Bouton color study collection. Okay. Then I said, okay, let me get something else. So I have this Late Afternoon embossed puffy stickers from Amy Tangerine, and that came out a year or so ago as well. This was actually a fall inspired collection, but this pink goes super well with the color story in Vicky's color story collection. And then Paige Evans always has like super colorful embellishments and stuff like that. And so I thought, well, Paige Evans collection, this one is Wonders. Works well with Vicky Bouton's storyteller or color study collection. And then lastly, I grabbed some Citrus Twist Tiny Words, and this blue, of course, coordinates with the blue that's in the color study collection. I grabbed this butterfly set that I think was, okay, so this is from Hip Kit Club exclusive. I want to say this was probably fall, but this was 2021, and I still have these hanging out in my stash, but look at the colors, right? Look at the colors. Now, here's the thing. Y'all know me. It doesn't have to match exactly. It just has to coordinate, right? Just has to coordinate, meaning that you're getting as close as you're going to get it, but it's not like, it doesn't have to be super matchy poop. But look at that. 2 different collections, 2 different designers, but that color study, the color story, works well. It's almost a perfect match to match there. Then I have another Hip Kit Club. These are clear stickers, and in Vicky Bouton's collections, you can definitely pair a neutral like black really easily, black and white, to kind of tone down a little bit of the boldness, but just to add a little bit of a anchor to the colors that are in her collection. But look at those stickers. Those will be perfect to accent my clusters. I also, the stash doesn't stop there, buddies. I have these old Citrus Twist, actually I don't know how old these are. They're live crafted chipboard stars. There are metallic accents in the color study collection and the embellishments. So I thought that would work well. And then I just have some puffy stickers from the color study collection. So this is where I went with my stash, digging really deep. A lot of these things I hadn't used in quite a while, but guys, it all coordinates. Okay, so let's see. We've got Amy Tangerine. We've got Vicky. We've got Paige. We've got Citrus Twist. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different designers, different companies that I'm pulling together for this page kit. All right. So if I were to impart any wisdoms when it comes to using your stash, find a starting point, whether it's your pattern paper, your photo, your embellishments, and look at the main color palette of that collection. And then go into your stash and you're going to find things that coordinate well with it. It doesn't have to be exact match to match when it comes to color, but close enough. All right. We're not trying to stress. This is scrapbooking, right? We're not doing surgery here. We're just creating layouts. So don't stress about it. And then pick up on little subtle details in the collections that you're using. So if your starting point has metallic in it, or if it goes great with black and white as a nice base neutral, then bring out some of those elements from your stash. And then I also recommend that you kind of limit what you make. I pulled a little bit more just to kind of show you, to sort of underscore the point when it comes to coordinating products across different designers and different manufacturers. If I were not to have done that, if I wasn't like somewhat seemingly teaching today during this live stream, I probably would have just grabbed a couple of pack of die cuts, some stickers. I don't have letter fonts because I'm going to be using a die cut for my title. Just a few little things here and there, some textured items and some labels, and that's where I would start. If I feel like I need something else, then I would add something else to it. Okay? That's to help me not get overwhelmed. Also, today I'm going to be adding a little bit of stitched detail. So I brought out my Box O floss, and this is Prism floss. I prefer DMC, but I usually use just the sort of student grade floss, if you will, on my scrapbook pages, so I'm not wasting my DMC floss. So I have some floss here, but look, I have some colors that work really well with this Vicky Bouton pattern paper and the other colors from the other products. So you're going to see how I'm going to be doing a little bit of stitching, right? Not a whole lot. We're not going crazy, just a little bit of stitching. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions about that in the comments. If you're watching this on the replay, just let me know. Sylvia, thank you so much for signing up for the newsletter. I appreciate it. Hey, Sharon. Need to get in your stash. Yeah, do some major stash busting. And you know what? Sometimes in order for us to know what we have to dig into our stash. We've got to organize it. Let some things go, right? Let some things go. I always think that our scrapbook products are, they're fun. And I know we all like to collect it, but the more we have, the harder it is to make decisions, right? So as you're thinking about your stash, you can start thinking about opportunities to kind of pare down a little bit. Maybe bless somebody with a little bit of stash, you know? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. The base of this layout, I'm going to be using this pattern paper here. Look how fun this is. Vicky has already done the work for us, right? So if you're into mixed media or if you like kind of that graphic look, you ain't got to do a whole lot of nothing on these pattern papers because she's designed it and done it for us. You can add other little things too. This is not going to be a mixed media layout, but I just want to show you for those who aren't familiar with Vicky's collections. I love it. I think they're fun, bold, and bright. I absolutely love it. Such a good collection of goodies. Thank you, Christy. All right, so what I want to do is I want to take advantage of this circle element. I'm just going to keep this page as it is. I do want to trim the branding strip off, so let's go ahead and do that. Love, love, love this paper, but I was conflicted because I really love this too. Really love this nice navy blue stripe. Oh, it's just gorgeous. But you know what? I have to sacrifice for my craft, so let's just do it. So I'm going to trim this down. And I think what I want to do is figure out next where I want my photos. I kind of had an idea, but then I start getting more ideas. I want to take advantage of this circle. I don't want to cover it too much. So I'm going to just position my photos. And I have 5 here that are going to go on this layout. And I thought there's a couple of different configurations here that I thought. So I thought about doing something up here, which I still might do, but we'll see. I am a single page scrapper. If you're new to this YouTube channel, I don't do double page layouts. There's nothing wrong with them. I just don't do it. It's just not my style anymore. I only do it if I'm required to do it. Like when I'm doing work as a freelance work or something like that, then I'll do it if it's requested of me. But for my own personal scrapbooking, I don't usually do double pages. If I do add another page, it's typically going to be a pocket page. So I'll do kind of this hybrid traditional plus pocket layout, but I don't do 2 pages anymore. But the reason why I don't is because I learned how to resize my photos so I can get the maximum amount of photos on a 12 by 12 spread. So I picked out the best photos, edit everything, and I thought about doing a cluster of photos here and a little cluster here. And then the title of the layout would go like somewhere right here, I think. Somewhere right here to this extent. Just trying to maximize that space. All right. I like that. And I think I made something similar to this during my live stream for National Scrapbook Day, which, by the way, I will be posting those layouts soon. I got caught up in another project, but I am almost finished taking pictures of those projects. And I've got a video or two where I'm going to be talking about the couple of layouts that I redid. So I like this look. And let's see, where did my journaling go? Let me get myself organized here. I already pre-printed my journaling, real simple, on vellum. You guys know how I do. Printed it on vellum, or typed it in Microsoft Word, ran it through my printer with vellum. Vellum is just like, well, not just like, you can print on vellum just like your computer paper or your cardstock, okay? So I think I would put the journaling like either somewhere here or up here. But this would give me a little bit more space to do some embellishing here if I wanted to. Now, another option was to just keep all the photos together, something like this. And then I think I was going to do my do this like that, which I think I kind of like better. Do my title here, and then do the journaling here. So what do you guys think? I'm going to give you the vote. Should I keep the photos together in a cascade like this with the title here and the journaling here? Or should I split the photos and do one cluster on top, one on the bottom, center the title, and then either do the journaling here or to do it here? All right. So let me know what's your vote. Keep the photos together or keep them separated? What do you guys think? Majority wins. Here's what they look like separated. And then here we are together. Let's come together. Let me watch it before I get a copyright ding. All right, so there it is together. It would be more like this if it's together. Let me know, separate or together. Ooh, together I think is winning so far. Let me know what you think. Photos separate or together? Here's together. Here's separate. Now, I love this design specifically because I know a lot of you out there want to learn how to resize your photos if that's not something you've already learned or mastered. Some of you out there want to maximize the space. Even if you were making this a 2-page layout, you could still pull off this design. I would just mimic what I did on the first page and do that on the second page. I think together is winning. Which do you like best, says Kara? I think I liked it too. I'll say I don't know. I think I like them both, which is why I was conflicted. I think I like them together. I think I like them together. There we go. All right. Well, it looks like together will win. I think so. And then the journaling will go like somewhere like that. I think this is where we'll land. And what this will do is it'll bring the eye into the center, into the photos. And so the story is really strong. So the story is being told with the photos. The story is being told with words. Okay. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you for your help. We're going to keep it together. So let's go ahead and get the photos, attached to the background. We're going to add a little bit of height and dimension because y'all know I love me some dimension. So I think that the photos are going to land something like this. Let me see here. I think we're going to do something like this. Okay. And let's see if we can start adhering these together without much fuss. I'm going to pull out my Scrapbook.com adhesive, my permanent adhesive. Someone asked me why I don't use an ATG or a larger adhesive product for my scrapbook pages. And the reason being is I have small hands and these little tape runners work better for me when I'm adhering things. And while they may not be super cost effective sometimes, an ATG will give you a lot more run for your money. This is better for me ergonomically, which is why I use it. I call voter fraud. Oh no! The folks who wanted them separate are calling for voter fraud. Oh no. Okay, so I'm just going to put adhesive on that photo and hopefully it will combine these together into one unit. Okay, and then what I want to do is I'm just going to gingerly flip this over. And this is what you do. You know that washi tape that we don't use? This is when washi comes in. So hold on just a second. So if you're dealing with multiple photos, if you adhere them together into one unit, then you can just move them around your page, right? That's an old little secret from those of us who've been in the game for a long time. That's what we've learned. Look at that washi tape. Isn't that pretty? I don't even remember whose collection this is, but it's super pretty. It might be Vicky's collection. I don't know. Okay. So I'm just going to combine these photos together, just like so. And this is a great way, especially if you're not quite sure where you want your photos. It's a great way to kind of get a visual of where you want your photos to be. So yes, we've got this whole unit here that I can just move around. So if I wanted it like here, I could do that. That actually looks pretty cool. But I want it here centered. All right, so just to double check, we've got our title that's going to be going somewhere like that. And then our journaling will be down here, something like that. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring out some dimensional foam. Some dimensional foam. Yeah. Oh, Jerry says, I did not know about the washi tape trick. Girl, you learn something new every day. Yeah, you got to get on this. I mean, all those rolls of washi tape got to get used, right? If you add a little bit of adhesive to the elements you're just trying to adhere together, flip them over, add some washi, you are good to go. All right, let's grab some foam. I use this foam from Scrapbook.com because it's fabulous. And I'm just gonna cut up some strips. What I like to do is just leave a little bit of space around my photos because when I layer, I like to tuck things under and it's a whole thing. You could use some craft foam, like the craft foam sheets versus the strips. That tends to be a little bit more economical. So if you're somebody who's on a crafty budget, or if you're environmentally friendly and you want to pop up and add some dimension, you can do layers of scrap cardstock to build dimension behind your elements as well. I sometimes do that if I think about it, but I am a foam queen. I love use foam. I go through so much foam, guys, a lot. Between scrapbooking and card making, I go through a lot, and other projects too. I'm out of my wider roll, so I'm just kind of using what I have left. I ended up having quite a bit of adhesive products in my stash, so I'm trying to use up a whole bunch before I do another order and get those worked through. Because you know what? I found over the years that depending on the type of adhesive that you use, sometimes the adhesive can be less tacky after a while if you're not using it. And I live in Texas, so it gets humid and all kinds of stuff here, so things like adhesives. In fact, I was just looking at a layout the other day, and I had an element adhere to the layout and it's starting to peel apart. So I have to reinforce it and use some strong adhesive and reinforce it sometimes with what you call liquid adhesive. Artsy Girl says, I like to believe that my old ATG is being happily used by a new owner. I know some of us just don't use it anymore, right? We don't use it anymore. Yeah, she gave hers away for a similar reason. Yeah. It's just too big. It was just too big. Okay, so let's go ahead and peel these off. Let me grab my desktop call my little trash corral. It's just a little ceramic dish that I made. I'm just going to peel that off. Before I do commit to this, I want to look at one other thing. Why did I put my fingers right directly into the adhesive? Good grief, Victoria. I don't know why I do that. Before I commit, I thought about creating a horizontal anchor. Where is my smaller one? Okay, maybe it's not here. Creating a horizontal anchor using this beautiful blue stripe pattern paper, which I'm just like holding on forever for the rest of my life. I love blue. To do something that kind of came out as an anchor for my photo, which I like, or an anchor for an embellishment. I just like the thought of being able to add in that blue. Maybe also, I shouldn't have taken that adhesive off. I just wasn't thinking. How about I dovetail it and see if I like it that way? Sometimes you don't know until you know. So it is what it is. That's the whole point of the creative process. You don't know until you know. You can hee-haw about it all day long. But until you kind of pop it on and see what it's going to look like. Let's see. Let me just set that here. I kind of like that vertical. That adds just a little bit something else to. Okay, so let's do that. I love that. I'm just going to tack that down. Just like so. And then let's bring our photos in. Journaling. Oh, I'm catching it right before it. Nope, I didn't catch it fast enough. That's all right. It's down. Let's go ahead and do the journaling. It is what it is, folks. We're moving on with life. We got time to dwell. Let's move on. I was trying not to get that to stick so fast, but it did. Which is why I shouldn't have taken off the backing to begin with, but you know what? Que sera, sera. Now I'm looking for, where in the world is, oh, it's right here. If it was a snake, it would have bit me. I'm looking for my Tim Holtz trimmer, guillotine trimmer. I found it. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and trim out this vellum. Now, I get asked this all the time. What vellum do you use, Victoria? I use the Hero Arts Classic Layering Vellum. That's what I use. By the way, if you hear some noise in the background, my neighbor is mowing his lawn. So I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. These pieces go into my little stash because I do use these. I use up all my little scraps of my vellum. And so I run this through my printer and it's good to go. So I'm just going, I could have made this tiny bit smaller, but we're not gonna worry about it. So I'm just gonna put this here. And what this does is it gives you the look of typing on your layout without actually typing on your layout. All right, I'm also wondering, as I'm thinking about design and thinking about balance, let's do, I'm gonna bring my little trimmer over again. I'm gonna trim up a little piece. And that's close enough to the same to the same height there, because I'm thinking I might need to put a little piece on this other side too, just to kind of bring out more of that horizontal element. Now, the cool thing about a Vicki Boutin collection is there's not a whole lot of design work you need to do. The colors and the designs just work for themselves. I think I'm going to put, I think I kind of like that there. That kind of anchors that. I could, look like it's running a long strip here, but you can also break it up too. And that plays with that kind of cascading diagonal that we've got going on. This is also a great way to use up those extra little bits and pieces that you may have. I'm hanging on to this. I mean, this is luscious. I've got to, I'm not getting rid of that. I'll use that in some way. Okay, so now we've got the foundation. Let's get the title going, and the title's going to go over here. And I think the words are going to run slightly into my mom's face, but that's okay. I'm going to use a little bit of white space here in this photo. But here's the thing. This is a vellum piece, and I want to try something real quick. I think I want to mount this or back this with some white cardstock just so that I can see it a little bit better. So let me grab a little piece of white cardstock, a little scrappy piece. Nothing major here. Let me see if I can find one that's big enough that I can do this. I have my little scraps off to the side. While I'm doing this, let me know in the chat, are you scrapbooking along with me? I know some of you are working. All right, some of y'all just listening in the background. We won't tell your boss. It's all good. We're not snitches. Stitches, rather. Okay, so what I want to do, sometimes, depending on your background, your vellum pieces may just kind of fade away, or your acetate pieces may just kind of fade away. So you can back them with a little bit of cardstock. Let me cut this excess off for a hot one. Now, I just lightly tacked this down because I just want to see how this is going to look on the layout. I'm going to use it regardless because I like it. It says, loving this life of mine. And every other Mother's Day layout, it's usually the title is Mother's Day. And I get kind of tired of that. So I thought, you know what? This works well. I didn't have to think hard by the title. It's already designed perfectly. I can use it as a title so that it's functional, but I also love the design. Why work hard when you can work smart? Okay, so there's that piece. And it's not a piece that's not hard to cut, so that's good too. So I'm just fussy cutting with my small scissors here, nothing major. Vicky would like that. She loves fussy cutting. If you've ever taken a class with Vicky, then you know she will have you cutting and cutting and cutting, or some people have now referred to it as fussy cussing. Some folks are watching, some folks are listening at work. Hey, I love it. I love it. You know, you just have to do what you got to do. You know, you can multitask at work. You can listen and be creatively inspired while doing your reports or whatever it is that you do. We've got some members in our community who are retired. Some folks who are working, some folks who have kiddos that they're looking after, or other family members that they're looking after. We're busy people. Some folks are on vacation. All right, I'm almost done with this. And I think it'll look nice, or I hope it'll look nice on the layout. This is just a really good example of using what you got. All right. I should have probably glued this down just a little bit better. And if you can hear that background noise, I do apologize. That's my neighbor mowing. He must be off today because he's been working on his car. Then now he's mowing, so I think he's doing all the chores today. He works for the railroad here in Fort Worth, and so oh yeah, I love that. Yes. Okay, there we go. That brings like a whole new light into that element. So he works so many days and then he's off so many days. So I always know when he's off because that's when he's doing his chores. Okay. So you know those things about your neighbors, right? When you get to know your neighbors, you know those things. Okay, so I like that. So let's pop that up with a little bit of foam. And the cool thing about this design is now I've got spaces where I can embellish and do the things. Alrighty. Yeah, let's go ahead and do a little bit of foam on this. I'll bring out my foam roll. Trying to use up my stash of foam. And we're just going to pop that up. And I'm popping it up because these photos are popped up. So I want to make sure that I've got good height. I'm just going to use the white space in these photos. There we go. Okay, now it is time to embellish. So I'm going to see if the elements that I did pick out will work. So I thought about using this circle over here. Now I'm having second thoughts about these pieces. Like, I like it, but what I didn't realize when I picked out these embellishments, Vicki Boutin has very large embellishments in her collection. So let's see here. Let's try something. I'm going to remove this. I'm going to see if I can take this out. Don't be afraid to, like, take things off. Okay, I'm just going to leave that out for just a hot one. Just a hot one, and we'll see if we'll bring it back. Okay, my originally I wanted, I think this was going to go over here. Then I had this little element here, which actually I like that better. Yeah, I think I like that better. And then the camera, where did I have the camera? Was going to go somewhere. Then I've got this big old large flower that was going to go somewhere too. Now I forgot. But, you know, the flower may not go there. I might have to scale down these elements just a little bit. So let's see. I like this little color wheel. And that was going to go right in there. So I might have to, I could trim it, but I want to make sure that I don't trim it too much where I'm losing the colors that I want on the color wheel. How do I want that? I want yellow or green. We're just going to make a decision and go for it. There's another little vellum piece as well. Just going to add some adhesive. You can't see the adhesive behind it, which is great. I'm just going to stick this here, I think. I'm just playing with the circle motif. Now, originally I thought I would put this camera or put a camera here, but this is really, really big. I could also just look for something else. So let's do, these are giganto. You know what I didn't pull, guys? I didn't pull any chipboard stickers. So hold on just a second. Let me grab my big old box of stickers. So I'm going to look through this really quickly. And I bet ya I have something in here. That's from the Storyteller collection. Some Vicki Boo stickers that I can use. And I'm just taking a look to see what all I have. Sometimes you get into this process and you're like, wait, hold up. I want to go a different direction. I want to do something different, or I forgot a particular element, or, you know, whatever. I'm all about making some quick decisions, moving on with life, not overthinking it. I'm just going through my little stickers here and seeing what all I have. I have a lot of stickers that coordinate with Vicki's collection or were designed to work with Vicki's collection. So I'm just looking at my options. Those are a lot of phrase ones. All right, let's see what we've got. Show me what you got. All right, let me put my big old box back. All right. This is why I am always advocating for folks to organize your stuff, because honestly, if I had to search around all over for product and things, I would not be able to scrapbook as efficiently as I do. Okay, so I grabbed this Storyteller sticker. Then I grabbed these chipboard stickers that are all designed to work with Vicki Boutin's collections. Alrighty. Do. Okay, so let's do this. Remove that. Let me try something here. I'm just kind of spitballing. Okay, that's not going to go up. But that could be an anchor for something. So I don't like that. I like that here. Okay, now I don't remember which colors I had prominent up there. That's okay. We're just going to leave that there. Okay, I like that. So let's build upon that. What I am looking for is a camera icon. So let me go through her things again. Let's see what I've got. I'm also going to look through Amy Tangerine's stuff too. Let's see. What do I got? What are my options? What are my options? Make sure you're giving this live stream a thumbs up if you're enjoying it. I sure hope you do. I'm going to look through to see if there's anything here that'll work. Ooh, that frame is really pretty. That would have been great as a layering element of some sort. I might have to save that for later. Let's see if there's anything here that I would like to use. I love arrows. That says true story. That's a fun little piece there. Let's see what else do I have. Again, just combining different collections. I'm just looking through here to see what all is available to me. Big ol' eye. All right, I think that I love that. And then it adds a little bit more white to the layout. So that's cool. Nothing ever turns out the way that I have it planned. Not always. Not always. Okay, so the foundation is set. Let's continue on. Hello, glad you made it, Industrial Tumbleweed. Hello. Artsy Girl says, your organization is impressive. Thank you. I would not be as productive as I am sometimes if I did not have good Scrappy organization. Speaking of, I am going to be filming, and I know it took forever, my other, spring clean, if you will, Scrappy organization video. I'm going to be, in that video, I will be working on, what am I working on? I'm working on my pattern paper and kit collection. That's what I'll be working on. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be fun. And I hope to have that video out next week. That's my goal. Okay, so I think I'm going to do a little bit more fussy cutting. I've been really fascinated with butterflies lately. And I love these. So I think I'm just going to fussy cut something real quick. You could, if you wanted to, a lot of people will scan this into their electronic cutting machines, like a Brother scan and cut or whatever, and then cut out all those butterflies so they don't have to do that by hand. I am not going to do that today. I also have these butterflies too, which, actually, let's explore this just a little bit. That looks pretty. That looks super pretty. I'm actually going to dull the sticky on this. This is a sticker. Let me come back to this. I really love those butterflies, but I pulled these for a reason. So let me get myself organized here before I go into fussy cutting land. Let's see here. So I'm going to dull the sticky. I'm just using a powder tool. Hey, Moira, how are you? I'll watch the replay from the beginning. I'm so glad that you're here. She's unfashionably late. So that's my cocktail hour sorted. There you go. Hey, Kelly, how are you? So glad that you're here. You're cleaning your studio today. That is fantastic. You know, sometimes we just gotta make sure the studio's tight and right. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the support. All right, how about we grab this one, and this one can come over here. I'm gonna move this out the way for just a second. So the journaling block, I probably would have made just a tiny bit skinnier, but here's the thing. I already printed it, so we're just gonna keep it the way that it is, and it's fine. Okay, so we're just gonna... Moira is one of my OG members. We got a lot of OG members in here. They've been with me forever. Okay, that's looking cute. All right. While I'm on the same vein, what I like to do is look at what I pulled to say, is there anything else here that I want to use? So there's some little floral bits here that maybe I can use or tuck somewhere or whatever. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Like, I'm not trying to force it, but I always like to see if there's something that I can use that'll work. And that may not work. That might have been better as a sprig. Like this little sprig or something probably would have worked a little bit better. But okay, that's no big deal. No big deal. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of tap those down just a little bit. That gives a little bit more of height and dimension. Dimension here in a second, because I'm gonna add. Thought about using one of those, but that looks stupid. That looks dumb. This is how I scrapbook. I'm like, that looks dumb. That looks great. That looks stupid. That was, that looks dumb. That looks great. That's how I scrapbook. All right, do I want a tab? Because we all know I love my tabs. Oh, now my neighbor's hammering. I'm gonna have to tell him about himself when I see him later. Like, hey buddy, I was going live and I could hear you hammering. He's a really nice guy. My neighbors are really sweet. They are really, really sweet people. And they have helped us out a lot in a variety of ways. They're just really sweet people. Boop, 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 boop. And will be forever. You're so sweet, friend. I don't think I actually need that. All right, let's just continue on with the little clusters here. Let me see. Got some other labels here. There's another camera. There's a camera. I knew I'd find one eventually. Maybe we can do a little cluster, taking advantage of the white space in this photo. I can move that over. All right, so my clusters, my process real quickly, and I'll talk more about this in my workshop on the 27th, is you start with an anchor and then you stack it with embellishments of various different textures, heights, and dimension, and then you add the details. It's really that simple. So I'll be talking more about that in my workshop, but these vellum pieces here, something that I wouldn't always reach for and use, but now I'm going to use it. And now I'm bringing in some chipboard. I've got these cardstock stickers. I like this little camera here. That's great. Just kind of building out that cluster just a tiny bit. Okay. And I want another element to go over here. So I'm going to look at the sticker sheet. I try really, 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 really hard to use as much as I possibly can from my sticker sheets on my layouts. Could I do the year? What is this year? Where are we at? No, I can't do 2023. I could do, what I wanted to do was take some of these little numbers here and then do like the year up here at the top, but I want to do them in the black. And I've got the black and the craft, and I don't want to mix them up, but there's not another two. See, this is the dilemma with the sticker sheets, particularly if they're older, because they may not have a ton of twos now that we're in the 2020s. Ay vey, that would have looked really nice to put the year up there. That would have been awesome, but I don't want to do, I don't want to alternate 20. No, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work. I don't want to scrapbook anymore. I'm done. I quit. After a minor inconvenience. In over 18 years of scrapbooking, I quit. What happened on Victoria Marie's YouTube? She quit today. She gave it up. Why? Because she didn't have enough twos to spell out the year. That's why she quit. Poor Victoria. That's why she quit. She might be just a little dramatic, but we still love her anyway. All right, so let me see if there's anything else that I want to put on here. I want a little dooley-doo here and another little dooley-doo down here. That's a technical term in scrapbooking, is dooley-doo, if you didn't know. Now you know. All right. God, those black numbers would have been fantastic. Okay, so we move on, right? We're gonna have a growth mindset, everybody. So don't freak out. Nobody freak out. Everybody stay calm. Chrissy says sounds familiar. Everybody stay calm. We're not, as Tim says, we're not gonna freak our freak. Everybody stay calm. As everyone says, Victoria, I think you're the only one who's panicking right now. But everybody stay calm. We're going to have a growth mindset, people. Okay? We're going to have a growth mindset. Okay, so I'm going to look through Amy Tangerine's sticker book. And I want to use some of these floral stickers, I think. Let's see. Come on. Come on. Let's see here. Would you just stay? Okay. There. Anybody else fuss at their supplies? I do all the time. Oh yeah, let's get some of this action going on. These are clear stickers from Amy Tangerine, and I think we're just gonna do a little tucky tuck here. Yeah, we're just gonna have to lay that down because it's already laying down on its own. So we're just, okay, Miss Thing, do you go off? Okay, sticker, if that's where you want to be. I'm not gonna fight it. Let's do another one over here. Sometimes you just have to submit to the will of the products because they're just going to do what they do, right? It sounds familiar. Nobody freak out. It's okay. Everything is okay. Everything is fine. We're not going to freak out, and we're not going to, be a drama about it. We're just going to, cry over it a little bit and be overly dramatic. That's all. That's all. It's nothing major. I'm going to put that there. And what if we did, come on, sticker. What if we did a little bit of a something here? That's pretty. You see how that black is just, it's grounding, It's grounding. I feel like there needs to be a butterfly there, right? I think so. We'll get to that here in a few. Okay, what else we got going on? What else do we want to do a little something here? Ah, that looks super graphic. I love it. These two collections are working well together, my friends. Uh-oh, I almost folded it into itself. We're just gonna layer that in. Sometimes your layers are tucked on, or placed on top. Sometimes they're tucked underneath, right? Don't be afraid to do a little bit of tucking. That's a technical term. Do a little bit of tucking. If you add an accent to it, it becomes even more entertaining if you do a little bit of tucking. You know what I mean? I don't have a Southern accent, just to let you know. But sometimes I can fake a Southern accent, you know. Do a little bit of tucking, and you'll be good to go. You know what I'm saying? Do a little bit of tucking. Now, I bet you're going to be scrapbooking. You're going to go, just do a little bit of tucking. You're welcome. Just do a little bit of tucking. That's all you got to do is a little bit of tucking. Okay, let's move on. Oh my goodness. No wonder why my friends roll their eyes at me. Like, what is your problem, lady? I have so many. Do you have time? Do you have time for me to tell you about my problems? No? Okay. I want to tuck a little something here too. That might look stupid, actually. I just want a little tuck. Do I like that? I don't even know if I like that. But I feel like I need to make it happen. You know what I mean? I feel like I need to make it happen. Like a little something here. So let's just let's do a little tucking. Just a little bit of tuck in there. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. And we got our butterfly. Boy, we just gonna tuck it right on in. There we go. Little camera there because I'm forcing that into existence. Okay. Let's see. How about this? Let's pop it up. Pop it. Let's do it. That's gonna go there. Ain't no stopping us now. I would sing that song, but I don't want to get a copyright infringement, so copyright here on YouTube, so I'm just gonna refrain. Thanks, Diane. I appreciate it. Chrissy says, my husband often walks away slowly as I have my monologues with extreme hand gesturing. He knows, right? He's like, I'm just going to leave her to her craziness because I'm not trying to get down with that. All right. Let's see. I wish I had a smaller butterfly that could probably go there. I have a moth, but that's just that'll probably be a little bit too big for what I wanted. All right, we're gonna have to explore that. And it may not pop up on the layout right now, but I feel that I need a little something there, but that's okay. These little stickers, I think I've only used one at one point. So let's see what we can do here. Maybe a little arrow for direction. These are embossed puffy stickers is what they are. Embossed puffy stickers. And that says, remember this. This one's not my favorite cluster in the world, but you know, I'm kind of warming up to it. Whoop, come on. This one says, oh, so wonderful. This one is embossed, but you can't read it. You may, right? You can, Daisy. You can get a copyright ding for singing the lyrics to something. You can. If it's copyrighted material, you can get a ding. That's how good the algorithm is. Now I'm singing that. A little bit of tuck in. Yep. Right there. Just going to tuck it right on in. Exactly. Just a little bit of tucking. That's all you got. You got to say with an accent too. Just a little bit of tucking. That's all you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit of tucking. All right. I think that's good right there. Okay, now that's adding the small details. So we have the anchor. We stack some embellishments with that. And we add a little bit of detail there. So far, I'm pretty happy with this. I want a tab on here, which I think the tab is going to have to house the year of this layout, I think. Let's go to these little bitty things here. Actually, let's see. Do I have anything for Paige Evans that I might want to use on this? No, nothing there. I pulled it out because the color story worked well. Let's go ahead and break out these little puffy stars and hearts. Then because there's gold metallic, I thought maybe we could, you know, sprinkle a little something something here and there. Just kind of tuck it in, you know what I'm saying? We're just going to be tucking. Just tuck it on in there. All right. Nothing wrong with a little bit of tucking. I know y'all are going to kill me. That's all you're going to be saying all day. Is just a little bit, just a little bit of tucking. You could paint the words. Yeah, you could do that too. Use a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and a little bit of that. And how about we get a little bit of heart action going. I need to find another little, I need to complete the circle here. Another little butterfly up there, but I'll get to that. Not right now though, because I need to look at my stash for something that's gonna work. I'm gonna put these little puffy hearts here, just to give that a little bit of zing and a dippity-doo and a zoodah, if you don't mind. All right, let's go to the stitching real quick and then we'll be done with this, and I'll post the final look on my blog. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I might want to use. I'm gonna stop while I'm ahead. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a tiny bit of little stitching on here. There are some little plus marks that are already designed in the pattern paper. And what I want to do is just do maybe a couple little stitchies over here, some over here, maybe a couple over here, and see where I go with this. And I think I might pull this up. And I am going to kind of give this a little trim. And we're just gonna tuck her right here because I didn't want too much of her. That's just good enough. And then that way I can do little stitchies here. So there'll be a little stitch here. Or do I want to do a stitch here, here, and here? Maybe here, here, and here. Okay, let's get into it. What you need is a piercing pad of some type. And you'll also need a piercing tool, whatever is going to work for you. A little pokey something or the other. We're going to grab this. Song worm in your head now. I know. You're welcome. All right, I'm going to use my We Are Memory Keepers, or We Are Makers now, piercing tool and my little piercing mat. And I think I'm going to just do, I think I want to just do like little X's. Nothing super major, but just a little bit of texture here in my cluster. So this can be a part of that, what do you call? Continuing out with your layering. And I think I'm going to use a little bit of the green. Let's reach into my little floss, if you will. So I think I'm going to use green because it's going to add just a subtle bit of texture. I could use white, but I feel like I use white all the time when I stitch. I could use blue. There's like 10,000 shades of blue that I'm working with. Shades of Blue, my new Blockbuster movie. 50 Shades of Blue. The blue, the blue would go great, but I think I kind of like the tone on tone effect. Also, if it doesn't look that great, then it's not that noticeable. Okay, so let's grab my little tomato here. 50 Shades of Blue. What will it be about? I would not want to turn my friends loose on that idea. Oh, goodness. All right, so I'm just taking a needle and threading that through. I'm keeping, this is a 6-strand floss. You can use whatever you have. Or if you're not into this type of thing, if you're not into stitching, you can just hand stitch or just leave it just the way it is. But I want to add a little bit of texture to my clusters. One of the things that I like about layering is that these are the types of things, types of details that really bring out a project. So what I'm going to do, for those of you who don't stitch, I'm not a master at this. I'm a novice. I pierced 2 X's right here, just kind of following this design here on the pattern paper. Thank you so much. Now what you're going to do is you'll just start from the back of your paper. And the reason why we pierced is because we're dealing with paper here. So we've got to be able to run our thread through without it ripping the paper. So I'm just going to run that through. I do have it tied in a knot back here. Sometimes I just adhere that. I just shade it with, not shade it. I cover it with washi tape is what I meant to say. Shades of Blue tucked in. That's right. Someone write the script. Let's get on this. All right, so I'm just going to go diagonal with 1 stitch, and then I'm going to come back up, and then I'm going to go diagonal with another stitch, just doing a quick little cross stitch here. Nothing major. Super easy. Anyone can do it. And now I've got that texture there. It's really subtle, but it's super pretty. All right, I'm going to go ahead to the next little stitch here. Now this is for those of you who are like, I want to add stitching, but I really don't know how, or how do I incorporate that? It can be as simple as adding details to a cluster, adding details to your background. It doesn't have to be a big border of stitching if you don't want it to be. Those of you who are skilled at sewing with a sewing machine, you can just go to town. Now the cool thing about floss is that sometimes if you run it through too fast, it'll tangle on itself. That's not fun. Okay, there we go. Very subtle. Now I could have used another color, but I just like that there. Now here in studio, it definitely stands out. It's hard to see it here live. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another one to this, and this time I'm going to layer over this transparent sticker, and I'm going to do another cross stitch. Now those who are cross stitchers know that you know you're supposed to cross stitch in a certain way or whatever for the most part. On this type of project it don't matter, because you're unless you're doing a whole row of cross stitches and you want them to look uniform, it's not a big deal. Just add your stitching and go on with life, right? I am teaching myself how to cross stitch, and I was surprised how long I avoided it. And then one day I just sat down and it was like, oh, this is easier than what I thought. And of course my mom laughed at me. She's like, I told you, dummy. She's been a cross stitcher for many, many years. All right, so we have that texture there. Really pretty, right? All right, so what you're gonna do once you finish your stitches, you're just gonna cut off that end there and then grab yourself some of that good old washi tape that you hoard, that either, you know, whatever roll of washi tape you got. This could be low-tack tape or whatever, and then we're just going to secure that stitch there. And so now I've got that texture on the page. That could have been a different color, you know, or whatever. I just like that tone-on-tone look, and it looks good here in studio. All right, let's go ahead and do, and of course you can make this as big as you want, right, or as small as you want. It's not like a huge deal. I'm going to do a couple over here. By the way, all of my YouTube live streams are recorded, so you can definitely watch this on the replay. I just like tying a small little knot, no big deal. And let's do it. By the way, this weekend, my virtual crop that I talked about at the beginning of the, at the beginning of the hour. I think my hole was just a little bit too big there. This month's crop is all about stitching. So if you want to practice your stitching skills by playing along with a few challenges, make sure you check out the information for this weekend's crop. It's virtual. You ain't got to go anywhere. You don't have to look cute. You can you can just stay in your lovely home and scrapbook the weekend away with a few of your friends. So all of our challenges this weekend are all about stitching. Machine stitch, hand stitch, you know, all the good things. All the good things. Okay, let's see. One day I think I'll get real handy with my new machine, my new sewing machine. Corinne's been using it, working on her next cosplay costume. She's got her first one almost done, which she'll be showcasing at a con here pretty soon, which she's really excited. She's trimming her wig that goes to her costume. I've never been to a con before, so I'm really excited. So here's those other stitches there. I'm just going to do 2 on that one. So she's really excited. She has worked 6 months on this costume. And the holdup, well, one, it was very complicated. We got, the pattern from a designer in Australia. And it's a super complicated pattern. It had lots of, you know, different bells and whistles to it. And this girl worked 6 months cutting, which included her cutting out the pattern because you know, it's a digital pattern, and then she had to print everything out, and then she had to cut it and put it together, and then we had to get the fabric and the whole thing. But what slowed us down was our darn sewing machine. We have a Singer's Tradition sewing machine, and if you're familiar with the Singer Tradition, then you probably know that the bobbin really sucks on that machine. And we took it to a sewing shop. We changed out the bobbin. Some people said use a plastic bobbin. Some people said use a metal bobbin. We tried both. It just would keep sticking. It's hard to change. It would jam up the machine so much. We adjusted the tension. We did all of the problem-solving things that you would do with regard to a bobbin. In addition to taking it to our sewing shop, we made sure it was cleaned. We did all the things, and it still didn't work. And so upon further research, we discovered that that particular model of machine historically has issues with the bobbin. And so we are finally vindicated after I guess I've had this machine for like several years, maybe 3 or 4 years. After fighting with this machine for so long, we finally learned that it's not us. It was actually the design of that particular machine, and it gets a lot of bad reviews, apparently, and a lot of people returning the machine because, and these, you know, and we found this out from someone who's a very experienced seamstress, who has had lots of experience with sewing machines. She used to sell them, and we continued to kind of investigate the issue and found out that it just was not a good machine because people have issues with the bobbin. It was not designed well. So I finally, long story short, got myself a new machine. And so I switched to a Brother. I think that's what we have down there. And I like it much better. Much better. And plus it's a top-loading bobbin, which I absolutely love. So, all right, so here's the other little stitches there. Love that. Yeah, when your thread starts to get tangly, let your needle drop down and it'll unwind and it'll be straight again. I think with this one, this particular model of machine, when we learned how to thread the bobbin and we did all the stuff, it just would not work. So long story short, Corinne, it took forever for her to be able to sew her project, and so that's why it took her 6 months to do. But a lot of labor went into this costume, and she should be very proud of the work that she put into this, because I don't think I would have had the patience for it. I don't sew garments, and this was the first garment she's ever sewn. So pretty impressive, pretty impressive. Okay, so now we have our completed layout. I love this. The only thing I'm going to look for is another, like a small little butterfly to go here and a tab because I want to put the year of the layout on here. But for the most part, oh, and I want to reinforce some of these stickers because see, they're already starting to come up. They're already starting to come up. I think maybe that's going to go somewhere. I want this arrow here because it shows direction. Anyway, so I'm going to reinforce some of these puffy stickers because sometimes that adhesive is just not going to stay. So yeah, so this is the finished layout. And I love that I use stuff from my stash that I got a lot of photos in because that was primary. I resized the photos to 3x4. I don't know if I mentioned that or not at the beginning of the session. Also adding in a little bit of stitching there as well. And here's that. Just playing off that pattern paper. I didn't need a whole lot. I like that I used the transparency stickers because it just makes it look like that's just part of the pattern of the paper. And then also using quite a bit of things from my stash. So I've got some Vicky Booten. I've got some Amy Tangerine. What else do I have on here? I have some Hip Kit Club, some Citrus Twist. So I hope if anything, this gives you some inspiration to reach into your stash, create some page kits, and make some fun things. I think there's something that I might want to add here, but I'm not sure yet. I'm just going to set this to the side. Sometimes after I do these lives, I'm not sure if I'm done with the project yet before I take pictures of it. So I'm going to set it to the side and see if there's anything else that I want to do, and then I'll take pictures and share it on my blog. So lots of photos. I want to make sure that I'm showcasing projects that have multiple photos. I've mentioned before that I don't take as many photos as I used to, which is why I tend to not do 2-page layouts often. Also too, I like single page layouts. And so if I have a multi-photo layout here that I'm working with, then I'm going to resize the photos so I can get as many on a layout as I possibly can. So that's where we're going to start from here. Oh, you meant cross stitching. Yeah, I see. I see what you're saying. Let's see. Not sure. Let's see if it's available. There used to be a thread conditioner called Thread Heaven to try and prevent it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Love the pattern paper. Awesome. Glad you guys like the layout. Very inspiring. Great. So reach into your stash and see how many projects you can make. You know, coordinate a kit with items from your stash and see how many projects that you can make. And then also too, if you are part of the Victoria Marie Facebook group, make sure that you post your projects there. We want to be able to see it. Lots of things going on here. Just a reminder, if you want to join us this weekend for the crop, the Stitch It Up crop, make sure you check out the information in the description. There's a link there for you. Also, I've got a layering workshop that's coming up on May 27th. So if you want to work more on your layering skills, I'm going to talk specifically about layered embellishments for this first workshop. Make sure you check out all that information. It's only $10. So check it out. You don't have to be there live. You can get the recorded replay, or you'll have the recorded replay whether you join live or not. And just come and learn a little something more to practice your skills a little bit, right? So as we're learning techniques, we're just breaking them down. As I tell my Project Done students, we're just breaking things down into smaller chunks. We're eating the elephant. And layering techniques are one of those things that you can just break down. You can focus on layered backgrounds first, and then move on to focusing on layered embellishments and how you can use different elements in your embellishments. You can add stitching, you can tuck behind things, using a variety of different stuff to make your embellishments really pop on your page. All right. Kimberly says, thanks so much. Learned much. Thank you. Productive staff meeting. Absolutely. So your takeaway is to go and make great layouts. That's your takeaway. All right, so check out all the things that I've mentioned. Make sure you sign up for my e-newsletter. All that information is down in the description box. I'll be posting this on my blog, and I'll also be posting photos of the projects that I made for my National Scrapbook Day mega live stream. So look for that to come. I'm almost done with that, and so you'll be able to see that. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I hope you had a great time, and we will do this again, I think, next Wednesday. So we're done with homeschooling for right now. Corinne's almost done with her season of dance, and so I think I'm going to have more time to do more live streams over the summer, which I'm really excited about. So I'll make sure to post those details so you'll know when we go live. I might be able to do it every week almost during the summer, or at least more often than what I have been. So I'm not going to commit 100% because the reason why I stopped doing weekly is because our schedule got crazy. But I think I'll be able to do a lot of them this summer. So lots of fun things to come, lots of creative inspiration. Make sure that you give this live stream a thumbs up. Let YouTube know that you enjoy this type of content. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, become a part of the community. We would love to have you. The links to all my socials are down below, so come follow me. Absolutely love you. Have a great day, everybody, and I will see you next week for another live stream. Bye.